So what is Fibonacci series? Fibonacci series is what? Where we are going to add the numbers. So how we are going to add numbers in this series? 0 plus 1 equals to 1. 1 plus 1 equals to 2. 1 plus 2 equals to 3. 2 plus 3 equals to 5. 5 plus 3 equals to 8. 8 plus 5 equals to 13. So this is known as the Fibonacci series. And how we are going to implement this? So to implement this, ideally what we require, now we need to think the logic. This is a good program to build your logic. So how we are going to do this? For that, what we can do, we first of all, we need to define that how many numbers we are going to add, okay, or print ideally. How many numbers we are going to print. So for example, if user said that user want to print 5 numbers. So what is the 5 number? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So these are the 5 numbers in which 2 numbers are predefined, 0 and 1, because these are the starting number. So if we are going to add 5 numbers, so 0 and 1 is the starting number which we required as an input. So that numbers can be considered as first equals to 0 and then second equals to 1. So we'll have first number as a 0 and second number as a 1. And with that, we can also define a number that is integer n equals to 5. There we are going to add the 5 numbers, right? Now, let me add those 5 numbers. Now, I'm just open the Eclipse. Let me open the Eclipse. Let me close everything. And then let me create a new project. File, new class. So that class is a all right. Now this will be in the default package. So what I'll do, I'll just create the main function first of all. Main. Now see, we'll have these 5 numbers, right? So what we need to do now, it means see user can add, instead of 5, user can add 10 numbers, user can add 15 numbers, and any numbers users can add. So we need to go with a for loop in that case. So in for loop, we need to start with some range, like we'll have some starting position, integer I equals to 0 we can go, and we can go with I is less than n, and then I plus plus. And recursively, we need to add the number ideally. See how it works. We'll have 0 plus 1 first of all. So we need to add 0 plus 1. So that can be stored in our result somewhere. We'll have result which is going to add first plus second. So first plus second equals to 1. Now what we need to do? We need to replace the first with second and second with result. How we'll do this? So let me initiate integer n equals to 5. We'll have this 5. Then we'll have integer first equals to 0. And then we'll have integer second equals to 1. Okay. And then we can print a message that this is a Fibonacci series, right? Now we require the for loop. So there I'll just go with for integer I equals to 0, I is less than n, semicolon, I plus plus. Now choice is yours. If you want this n from user, so you can ask from the user as a user input. Now we need to print the number, okay, the first number. So how we'll print that? There, first of all, I have a, see, I also require a result, or instead of that, I can also go with next or result. Choice is yours. So what should be the next number? So initially I declare this next as a 0 at this point of time. And inside that, what we can do, we can simply print next equals to first plus second. Okay, so that gives me the next number. It means 1. And after that, what we need to do? We need to replace first with second. And similarly, we need to replace second with next. So this is our number, okay, which we'll got as an output. So we can print this next, okay, or see, you need to print first and second before. Otherwise, we'll not get this. So what we can do, we can simply print. Now, see, now what happened? If I'm going to print this out next. So if I'll print next, then what should be the result? Let me run this code. Right click, run as Java application. So we'll get 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. Why? Because see, in Notepad, we can see we are going to add till this 5 number, and we had already our series is printed from this. It is printing the 5 number, but not starting. So it means we need to print these 2 numbers before. Okay, like before everything, we need to print these 2 numbers. So what I'll do, I'll just print this out first and this out second. Now we see that that will going to increase by 2, the list will in. Okay, so once again, let me cut this section, let me print this there, let me remove this gap, save, run as Java application. Now we are getting 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, but ideally we need to print till this. So whatever be the requirement, so that you can run -2. Why? Because we are printing 2 numbers already. So if user want to print, now let me run this. Now we are getting series till 5. If user want to print 10 numbers, so that will print 10 numbers, but starting 2 were already printed. So we are going to run this loop till 8. So 1, 0 and 1. This is first and second. Now we'll have this. Now what happened? See how this flow works ideally. First 0 and 1 is printed there. Okay, that is very clear that we'll have 0 and then we'll have 1. Now what is the next number? So next number is 0 plus 1 equals to 1. So that is in 1. Now what should be the value of first? At this point of time, first become second. So second is 1 and then second become next. So next is what? Next is 1. This is for the first flow. So what this will be updated. Now what is this? That will going to add first is 1, second is also 1, result is 2. Now what happened? First equals to second. What was the second? Second was 1 and second equals to next. That is become 2. So now what is the next scenario? We'll have first as a 1, second as a 2. So that will become 3. Now again, it will replace first with second. So now first become 2, second become 3. And what is that? 2 plus 3 equals to 4. Again, it replaced. So now that first is replaced to 3. Ideally, what happened? See, that first will going to replace with this and second will going to replace with this. Now what happened? This will become 3. This will become 5. So what is that? 3 plus 5 equals to 8. Now again, what happened? This will become 5. This will become 8 and it will going to add that 5 plus 8. So that is become 13. So this is about the Fibonacci series, how we can implement this series and what is the implementation logic behind this.